Hi everybody, welcome to Beyond the Label podcast with Leanne, your host, and today I'm at the Affordable Art Fair in Hong Kong with artist Eleanor McColl. Hi Eleanor.
Hello, nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
And now we're sitting in front of Eleanor's art and she'll be doing like a live painting during the fair. So can you start with talking about what this is about?
Yeah. So this is a project for the Affordable Art Fair, who are celebrating their 10 years in Hong Kong. And actually, I'm celebrating 10 years exhibiting with the Affordable Art Fair. So I proposed this project, which is a celebration of Hong Kong. It's like a love letter to Hong Kong. So choosing an iconic image like the mailbox, an iconic, not even image, it's a thing, an object.
Yeah.
So I had this one made large, and the idea is you can all write postcards. So I've produced a series of paintings for this fair. They've been made into postcards, so you can come along, write on the postcard, and then post it in this giant letterbox, and it'll be sent around the world or wherever you want it to be sent. So that's the idea.
So what inspired you to have like the concept of like Hong Kong in your art? And where are you from? Like tell us about like your background and you moved here and you get inspired by the city, right?
Yeah. So I moved to Hong Kong straight from university. So I've been here for 23 years. So it's now half my life living in Hong Kong, more than half my life living in Hong Kong. And I'm basically inspired by my surroundings. So wherever I am, I'm inspired. And after over 23 years, I'm still constantly inspired. So what I do is I pull references and imagery from Hong Kong, from my surroundings, and then I use that imagery by cutting it, splicing it, and patching it together and creating like a Hong Kong mashup. So instead of just doing a regular landscape, I like to kind of, just pull the imagery together and make a new reality rather than presenting something that's already existing.
Yeah.
So using the existing imagery, but creating something new.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Yorkshire, from England.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that's like a really big move, actually.
Yeah, but to be honest, it was one of those things. I met a friend at university who grew up in Hong Kong. We came out here to help set up an art school, and then I ran my own art school for 10 years. Yeah. And then I started exhibiting 10 years ago because I realized I was not doing my artwork. That was the whole point. Mm-hmm. So it's gone from strength to strength ever since then. So yeah.
Wow. What's your favorite thing about Hong Kong?
I'm just constantly inspired by the juxtaposition of all the imagery. So you get the washing hanging out the windows, and then you get the glitzy buildings, and you get the market stalls and the bright colours, and that's why my work is very bright and bold. I absolutely love colour. And really my main aim is just to make people feel happy. Like for me, colour is so joyful, and I just want people to feel good. So really it's being inspired by my surroundings, using the bright, bold imagery, and then creating something quite joyful. I feel is quite joyful. So.
I mean, I feel like I've obviously never lived in Yorkshire before, but it's very different. Like I can imagine the weather.
It's very different. It's very different. And actually, I've missed Yorkshire for years. I kind of have a yearning for the countryside and the green. Green is my favourite colour. So when I think of green, I just think of the Yorkshire Dales. I think of all the different shades of green. And actually, I love the cold weather. I really love the cold weather.
Really? Because this is so hot here.
It's so hot. That's actually the one thing about Hong Kong that is the one negative is the heat. But yeah, because I'm such a fair weather. Not fair weather. Sorry, the opposite. But yeah, I love the cold.
But you're here now.
But I'm here. I've been here for 23 years, and I'm just always surrounded. And it's a great place to be an artist because there's just inspiration everywhere. I mean, every day when I'm walking down the street, I'm constantly stopping to take photographs. It's really annoying. And if I'm with my kids, they're like, oh God, I'm just snapping, thinking, I'm using that later. I'm going to put that into something. So yeah. I do a lot of repeated imagery, but I'm always going to bring something new into it as well. So it'll be a new piece of washing hanging out, or a different teapot, or a tag from something.
Have you ever had like an artist block? Because you're inspired by the surroundings and like your environment, right? Like, do you just like get constantly like exposed and like amazed with things?
Yeah.
Or have you ever like had a block here where like I don't know like what to create?
No, in fact, my issue is I have a few different collections and I produce different types of artwork. So my issue is narrowing down and staying focused on one thing, because I absolutely, I see something like I really want to do that, and then I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's, part of being an artist. I haven't experienced creative block, but you do have to force yourself as an artist to sit down and actually create. You can be creative, you can be inspired the whole time, but actually that's different from sitting down and actually getting on with work.
Right.
So I'm always inspired, but then I have to make myself sometimes go, right, what are you going to paint today? What are you going to do? What's this new collection going to be?
Yeah.
So for this piece,
Yes.
actually, because I've been so busy, I had no idea what I was going to paint on it, because I have all of these ideas in my head, and I sat down yesterday in front of this, setting it up, and I just, wow, I'm right, and it just comes to me. So then I've got all the inspiration. I think, all right, I'm going to put this here, I'm going to put that there, and actually, I really love working like that. I like working in that kind of off the cuff way.
So basically, like making yourself like sit down and execute and do the work.
Yeah, and just forcing the ideas sometimes to come out. You just have to be there.
Yeah.
You have to kind of show up and be there at your desk or in your studio to kind of let the magic happen, because otherwise it just won't. And for example, this series, the one that's the postcards down there, they, I wanted to mix it up a little bit this year. Normally, I have a lot more imagery in one painting. But this year I've chosen just 3 images. So I've got, for example, the lanterns, and the lantern is turning into, the tassels from the lantern are turning into noodles. Yeah. And I just, I want to produce fun work that's a little bit quirky and
Wow, that's amazing. So like, what's like the one like hardest thing being an artist in Hong Kong?
I think the hardest thing is, like, unless you already have, and this is going to be a very honest answer, sorry, but unless you have a financial background or you have already have money, like it's very difficult to live as an artist. So every artist has to have another income. So you have to be an entrepreneur as well as an artist. So it's taken me about 10 years to kind of get the balance between. I have students that come to my art school. I have like 2 days a week I dedicate to my students, and then the rest of the time is dedicated to my art practice. And I have to be really strict about that, because it's a kind of yin and yang kind of thing. So it all works out. But you do have to. That's probably the hardest thing, because if you're painting for a collection, you might spend 6 months or 2 months, however long, a year, painting with this collection. But then there's no income from that collection until you have an exhibition, and then the exhibition, so
it sells your painting.
But that is the reality, and that's the choice, and you have to really love it to do it, because you just put yourself out there and hope. It's gambling. I think Elizabeth Gilbert explains being creative as gambling, and you really are gambling, because you're just thinking, I hope somebody likes this. I hope somebody likes this.
No, you're actually 100% right, and I really like that. It's so honest. Yeah. Because even as like a creative in other fields, I feel that you need some sort of like more sustainable financial support. Yeah. And if you're, it is that is the tricky thing. I mean, you're always thinking, but you need to have some, and listening to Elizabeth Gilbert, she does talk a lot about this, and she would say she gets fearful when somebody says, I'm going to quit my job and be an artist, or I'm going to quit my job and be a writer, because she'd written 4 books before she quit, and then had a revenue stream. And I just think you have to be able to balance, having an income stream, doing what you love, and then and it depends if you want to. It depends what your market is as well, and what you're selling your work for. So but you've been in this for 10 years.
Yes, I've been doing it for 10 years, and I absolutely love it. And I now can see the real progress of my career. And I think I used to be in a rush and think, I want this, I want to do this, I want to do that. Now I just think, okay, I've come so far in 10 years. The next 10 years, who knows what's going to happen? But I'm really excited, because I'm always creating. I'm always thinking of the next collection, and I've got there's a lot to do.
Well, what's like the one advice you want to tell your past self, like 10 years ago when you first started, having the knowledge that you have now and knowing that you've come so far?
I think I would I would probably try and work out the balance earlier. Like it took me a long time to be.
Like you mean the financial balance?
Just and just being a bit more business savvy. So I think I would have said do some kind of business course.
Yeah.
I mean, I set my own company up at 25, so I was running an art school at 25, and I loved it. But that was full. It was, it was brilliant, but it was all encompassing, and I didn't have any time to do the artwork. So then, it took me years to think, right, pare it back. I don't need to be running a full-on art school when I can do a little part of this and then still create. And I think it would probably be to, just think a bit more about that.
Yeah.
I'm very reactive, so I kind of, it's been a long process of working things out. But yeah, I don't know if I don't have any regrets really, because it's just.
I mean, that's what happened. Yeah, and that experience made you who you are today as an artist.
I think I'd just say keep going, because it's very easy to think, actually, why are you doing it? And really you're doing it because you have something to create, you want to create. And so at the end of the day, that's the only reason every year I'll keep creating and keep doing stuff. And it'll just keep evolving. I'm already thinking, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's very, so.
And especially get so many ideas, like just by walking around in Hong Kong, right? You're just like, what can I do next?
Yeah, exactly. And I really, I want to extend the collection to other cities as well. But at the moment, there's not enough time in the day, and that's,
I mean, this is already so much.
It's good. So, it's great.
Oh, thank you. And I have one last question that I ask everyone. Can you tell us one thing that you love about yourself?
Okay, I think I would say I'm very positive, look on the bright side person.
I can feel that.
So that's probably my biggest strength, and I think you need that if you're in the kind of art world. And it's very, I'm very just, which is why my work is so colourful. I guess I'm very, I think positivity. Yeah. But having a little bit of realism every now and again is also good.
That is so important, because I feel like these stereotypes for artists, it's like they're really moody and not at all positive.
Yeah, no, it's true. And actually, to be honest, I've really struggled with that as well, because I think, oh my goodness, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. But actually, I think this just comes with age. The older you get, you just think, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. This is who I am, and it's fine. It's good.
I love it. So, I think that's amazing.
So, thank you. Yeah, obviously it takes a long time to get there, but it's good. I'm happy with positive, being more joyful about it, and not thinking it's.
And I think your art obviously reflects that. So
thank you.
Yeah. So
as long as people. I mean, and also that's another thing to learn, that not everybody's going to like what you do. I mean, it's very stylized. It's very bright and bold and colourful. So it's not going to appeal to everyone, and also that's all part of it as well. So you just got to actually know that you're creating what you want to create. So
that is so important. Yeah, like creating for yourself and not like to appease people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
So. It's good.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
Can you tell the audience like where they can find your art, like your Instagram, websites?
So my Instagram is Eleanor McColl Art. Website eleanormccall.com. And for the next 4 days, come on down, paint. Well, I will be painting, but you can write on a postcard and post it into this letterbox and see the progress as it's going on. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well.